बुलेटिन का आगाज करेंगे। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म शहबाज शरीफ और वज़ीर ख़ारजा बिलावल भुट्टो ज़रदारी की सैलाब ज़दगान की बहाली के लिए कोशिशें रंग ले आईं। जिनेवा कॉन्फ्रेंस में मालियाती इदारों और दोस्त ममालिक ने इमदाद के बड़े ऐलानात कर दिए और इस वक्त वज़ीर-ए-आज़म शहबाज शरीफ इसी कॉन्फ्रेंस से खिताब कर रहे हैं।
Spoken about their miseries and problems and become a very powerful voice to articulate what they went through during this summer. I remember on 10th of September, I was with you along with Foreign Minister in refugee camps in the province of Sindh and Balochistan, and you were standing by orphans, widows, mothers, and I remember vividly, you met a mother who had given birth to a child the night earlier, and a makeshift school run by UNICEF. Excellency, this the people of Pakistan will remember forever. I'm also very grateful to so many heads of states and governments, as well as ministers and other partners who have joined us today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a turning point of history. Events are moving faster than we can imagine. And it is not only a question of how to survive, but it's a question how to maintain our bodies. It's a question how to maintain our dignity and honor by moving forward with a sense of purpose and a sense of achievement. Secretary General, as you have just mentioned, the Foreign Minister, you so aptly described, at that time, at the heart of the perfect storm of problems lies this prolonged exposure to a monsoon on steroids. In a matter of 2 months, the ground beneath us was literally, physically taken away. The tsunami, the most devastating floods, affected 33 million people of Pakistan, killed more than 1,700 people, including children, and dislocated 8 million people. More than 8,000 kilometers of roads were washed away, and more than 3,000 rail system was deeply damaged. It was disrupted for 2.6 million students, including 1 million girls. One can go on about the records broken by this disaster, but truly speaking, we are racing against time. We are very grateful to the generous support extended to my country by the United Nations, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the IMF, the AIIB, and the European Union, as well as many friendly countries around the globe. However, relief work is yet not over, especially in parts of Sindh and Balochistan. Our young and able Foreign Minister belongs to the province of Sindh, where the flood water still needs to be drained to reclaim the agricultural land, to grow food, to build homes, reconstruct infrastructure, and rehabilitate institutions and services. Excellencies, you will appreciate that we need to give 33 million people who are deeply affected by the floods their future back. Their families must stand on their feet and they must come back in life and earn their livelihood. Today's convening is an attempt to give my people another chance at getting back on their feet. Last October, in collaboration with our development partners, we prepared a post-disaster needs assessment, PDNA, that calculated the total destruction and economic losses from the floods to exceed $30 billion, which is 8% of Pakistan's GDP, pushing 9 million people into abject poverty. Excellencies, the Pakistani nation as well as the state has responded courageously to this catastrophe. Those who had little came forward to help those.
वज़ीर-ए-आज़म शहबाज शरीफ कॉन्फ्रेंस से खिताब कर रहे हैं। आपको बराह रास्त दिखा रहे थे।
पाकिस्तान का बेशतर इलाका ताहाल सैलाबी पानी में डूबा हुआ है। बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी का कॉन्फ्रेंस के इफ्तिताही सेशन से खिताब। कहा, सैलाब से 3 करोड़ 30 लाख अफराद मुतासिर हुए। पाकिस्तान में हर 7 में से 1 शख्स सैलाब से मुतासिर हुआ। मुश्किल वक्त में पाकिस्तान की मदद करने वाले ममालिक का मशकूर हूँ। तामीर नौ के लिए इक़दाम ताहाल जारी हैं। पाकिस्तान में सैलाब से तबाहकारियों का हजम बहुत बड़ा है।
We did 5 months on. Many areas of Pakistan are still underwater. 1 in 7 Pakistanis were affected by this natural disaster. That's 33 million people. We are still conducting our relief operations and we are looking forward to our reconstruction and rehabilitation. We welcome you all here. We did this unique conference for a resilient Pakistan, where the international community has come together in solidarity to stand a country that faced an epic natural disaster.
पंजाब असम्बली का इजलास हंगामा राय का शिकार हो गया। स्पीकर सफ्तान खान की ज़ेर सदारत इजलास का 2 घंटे 49 मिनट ताख़ीर से आगाज़ हुआ तो अपोजिशन ने एहतजाज शुरू कर दिया।
मुतालबा किया गया कि वज़ीर आला एतमाद का वोट लें। अपोजिशन अरकान ने एजेंडे की कॉपियां फाड़ डाली, डेस्क बजाए और स्पीकर डायस का घेराव किया। ऐवान में शेर एक वारी फेर के नारे लगते रहे।
आगे बढ़ेंगे और आपको बताएं कि पीटीआई आज भी पंजाब में अपने नंबर्स पूरे नहीं कर सकी। पंजाब असम्बली में नून लीग को 179 अरकान असम्बली की हिमायत हासिल है। वफाकी वज़ीर दाखिला राना सनाउल्लाह कहते हैं कि इमरान खान एतमाद का वोट लेने के लिए बज़िद और परवेज़ इलाही गुरेज़ा हैं।
मौजूदा स्पीकर की सदारत में एतमाद का वोट काबिल कबूल नहीं। अदालत परवेज़ इलाही को एतमाद का वोट लेने के लिए कहे।
अगर उनके पास नंबर होता तो इतना जतन करने की ज़रूरत ही कोई नहीं थी। एक दिन अजलास बुलाते और अपना नंबर जो है वो पूरा दिखा देते, मामला जो है वो सुलझ जाता। इमरान खान साहब 11 तारीख से पहले वोट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस लेने पे बज़िद हैं। दूसरी तरफ चौधरी परवेज़ इलाही साहब जो है वो ग्रेज़ा हैं, जबकि हमारे पास इस वक्त इनके मुकाबले में अल्लाह के फजल से हमारे पास अक्सरीती नंबर है। हमारे आज भी 179 मेंबर जो है वो पूरे थे। चौधरी परवेज़ इलाही को कहा जाए कि ये वोट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस ले। वोट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस का जो अजलास होगा वो मौजूदा स्पीकर की ज़ेर सदारत हम उसको कभी एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे। वोट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस का अजलास है। हाई कोर्ट इस बात का एहतमाम करे कि उसकी सदारत जो है कोई पैनल ऑफ चेयरमैन का ऐसा बंदा करे जो न्यूट्रल हो और बल्कि कोर्ट जो है वो अपना ऑब्जर्वर मुकर्रर करे और उसकी निगरानी में जो है वोट ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस हो।
आपको लिए चलेंगे जिनेवा, जहां पर वज़ीर मुमलिकत खारजा अमूर हिना रबानी खैर इख्तितामी सेशन से खिताब कर रही हैं।
9.1 million people below the poverty line. Existing health and food insecurities are exacerbated by the disaster, disproportionately affecting the most vulnerable. The government of Pakistan led a post-disaster needs assessment, PDNA, which was prepared with the support of a core group of partners comprising the Asian Development Bank, the European Union, the United Nations agencies, and the World Bank Group. The PDNA estimates recovery needs at over $16 billion. Housing, agriculture and livestock, as well as transport and the communication sectors were most impacted. Sindh was the province worst affected by the disaster, followed by Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Punjab. Based on the PDNA, the core group has supported the government of Pakistan in developing a resilient recovery, rehabilitation and reconstruction framework, or what we have referred to as the 4RF framework. The 4RF provides an overarching framework for planning, financing, implementing and monitoring Pakistan's resilient recovery, rehabilitation and reconstruction efforts. The conference provided an opportunity to present the 4RF, secure international support and forge long-term partnerships for building Pakistan's climate resilience and adaptation. During the conference, delegations recalled their assistance to the immediate relief efforts and affirmed their support to the people of Pakistan for a resilient recovery, rehabilitation and reconstruction. Delegations expressed their solidarity and announced commitments of financial support to the realization of the objectives and priority areas outlined in the 4RF, as well as to ongoing humanitarian efforts. Taken as a whole, these commitments totaled more than $9 billion. And from what we know so far, these are all additional commitments to what was already given in terms of humanitarian assistance, etc., from both bilateral and multilateral partners. Further announcements for in-kind support were made by a number of delegations also. Now, the conference marked the beginning of what can be called a structured process of support for Pakistan's recovery, aligning humanitarian relief, early recovery with broad long-term sustainable development in a resilient manner. The conference identified the principles, action plan for Pakistan's resilient recovery, rehabilitation and reconstruction. The structured process of support for Pakistan's resilient recovery will be based on the following elements. A, developing and agreeing to detailed plans for specific recovery interventions based on the PDNA and following priorities and implementation.
न्यूज़ स्टूडियो से फिल वक्त
देखते रहिए 24 न्यूज़।